How did Madden NFL go down this year? If you didn't know, I started off with Orihime. I was still 28 in 2024. I made the shot and it ended up on a point. What happened was I was gonna make my career. I'm like, okay, so this is a good start by 29. So I had, 2 months left in February. The whole entire time I imitated Madden with Alex's brother Michael. I was simultaneously working on Bayside. I knew that in order to match up to an older brother, I had to do the entire Madden NFL. There's no country, there's no Bagoozy, there's no Skechers on my feet. This is a full-on plan and execution. I just got into sports. With the edge of what that last year gave me, to start off my birthday with a new theme, I'm like, okay, now I have a tool, I have Orihime, I can use this all throughout 29. What I did was I made a playlist simply made for Madden NFL in order to suit the feel of Madden. And the whole thing that I used with, Alex's brother Michael is that Alex told him everything in the form of Big Mama. He does his breaks down situation like this. He's like, what is the Vario? We're making jokes about Nokia, like if somebody wants to beat their family, Lily, try to get away with something simple like, oh, Orange, versus the guy who's blue and Orange is gonna win. To do everything, but he did know I was connected to mainstream media. With doing so, on forth, does things on that level, definitely on the level of he had a six-pack and he pulled a neighbor with some big titties and he brought Michael along and Michael tried to stop him after he played Peaches and Cream after he had blue feelers. He definitely did. I can get that girl big titties because I have a six-pack. True, it's very true, and what was definitely true was the 100 Starburst. Again, because you can't eat 100 Starburst, Michael. You don't know what that means. That means I'm a little kid like you times 10. I can get Jay to knock you out saying, wake up, sleepyhead. It's been really crazy. I used to rap, Jay and Yuki as a sport, like Lily. I was hella good at Yu-Gi-Oh! And I was athletic. One day, I was a busy guy become Jaden. But in reality, Yu-Gi-Oh! Didn't keep up with me athletically. To be in the club, I used to make moves like the show, to do everything. I'm hella good at basketball, so the whole thing is I set up Orihime for my 29, and it worked tremendously. And on top of Orihime, I made this guy named Smeagol. Smeagol literally is me if I went to a blood meeting. Smeagol is Alex's best friend from an alternate timeline, no Mr. Young included. This was really many and menacing because I had the concept of Orihime being a basketball player. I was a torture of how I can't see Bayside. And it started off great because I had the Big Mama formula. So what I would do is I'd take grape soda and I would press ice packets. Literally, I would pretend it's Big Mama's house, since that's what Alex would do. He would tell everything to Michael while he's sipping, grape soda, first off. Sometimes it's cream soda, sometimes it's orange soda. If domestic violence, that goes into it literally. When you go into a stepmother's house, that means you understand that it's a delicacy. The biggest delicacy, unlike what you learn in the hood. Doing so, it's really, really good, and don't try this high, and that's why I'm a really, come cool and collect actor. But I have things that you can't try when you're high. When you watch the Big Mama's video high, it didn't work because you were high, retard. It's literally something that you have to appreciate sober. That's how you naturally absorb. That's your life being sucked. Now, if you slow down, literally, it can literally give you a heart attack. What it does is that it makes you high when sober. That's what life is outside your parents' house. This is Ford lifestyle. And as much as hell looks like Orihime, as much as her, Orange, and Nokia are going crying, nothing official happened. Not her phone number or not Bayside. Nevertheless, the playlist has Super Saiyan Beyonce 2. Still following some stand-up comedy, with from Akame Got Killed in the form of Comedy Central. So the beginning of 29 went like this. It worked like a charm. Orihime worked like a charm. There was a problem. There was no problem playing basketball. All the players like me was good in the beginning. I made a point, but they went past the point to piss me off. Started adding things like, speed. This is a current mistake in basketball that Chris can obviously, tell you about. It was still overall good. I beat the best team, NASA blocked it, but it's still all in one memory. So going forth, I had multiple problems like ReZero. Like if you're absolute punk in real life, literally, you try something red and you're doing government surveillance like me, going to victim of domestic violence, they'll scan it literally and they won't let you get away with anything that's really punk or PG like Blink-182. In real life, you can make a joke, but literally, if you're on it, if you know how the actual gangs work, you can't do it. No Fireflies, no Isaiah. I think like a lunatic because this video based off after Cream Soda, after all the basketball games, after the first 4 months, literally they tortured me all throughout 29. I'm making Michael and Michael's brother look minuscule compared to what it could be. Literally always giving me a missed chop, not letting me see things full. After a while, basketball became a no-brainer. Me improvising when NSYNC is over. It was cool in the beginning, I made the playlist, I had everything loaded, but it just didn't go off enough. In fact, I made, new friends with new hobbies, called Zen. Because of how much they let me know about the government, how much they're going to apply. You thought with more activity it would be more fun, but it was twice as many problems. I was bouncing the ball, I realized something. It was freaking crazy. Because the reason why Madden didn't last long is because of the oxymoron situation we were dealing with lesbian cops. I understand big situation like Alex's brother, Mr. Robinson's brother, Oates Kevin, and every mother-fudging thing beforehand. At the end of the day, Chelsea, on the other end, Angelina, just not taking it. The lesbian cops, they're trying to call out something simple. The more complex it got, the more repetitive it got. It's like, come on now, to more to the point I was destroying them in the black room. The point where I needed a goddamn locker already. Got more admits, it got more and more admits to already the point where we can't even play basketball in 25. So Chris had me and Lily with his friends over his NBA 2K game. That wholesome and beautiful. When you're dancing with these girls named Yessie, when you have your own little media crew going along, you have to admit the same reason why her big tits are pissing everybody off. Everything's dysfunctional, why you're not actually in the building after being a part of the locker room. It's the exact same reason why his was more wholesome, because he paid attention to the rule. That's why you should never bow your brother, we're a stereotypical black guy. A nigga is thinking that being street smart is gonna go over something on paper. That's why he got an actual job and you thought you had money pending. Hey, somebody promised you something first. Oh, and spraying the bug juice just gets worse. Beforehand, we were riding on the bus going to the movies. Perfectly imitated Babylon's music. Vote for me, De La Ghetto, and the Melitzer theme from Nons. Allie, on the way back home, imitating my brothers, and then an anime nerd is stalking and getting hella mad. I even played Motionless in White. It was hella crazy, and I was like, Allie? Yeah, Jackie can come along. Overall, the Madden NFL playlist ended bad, as nobody wanted to follow back with the full story of 29. They wanted to allow with something amazing like Michael's brother. Kept on trying to do the same thing with Come vs. Come. Never recognized the reason why I'm doing something amazing on foot was because something amazing was before. I'm just doing something more able-bodied. They understood that nobody complied to the fact where literally I was watching it the first 2 months and then literally it all fell off. Still a grown man, more topics and more things came into play. It didn't override the fact that the nightclub is half-assed. Don't have proper training in the woods. We need a sheriff to even out something out. We obviously had the thing with Kansas, literally, they fucked with me so much, the lesbian cops fucked with me so much. I knew that the Philadelphia Eagles have more power, but they kept on messing with me with my mom, literally doing chores in and out. All the way to a point where I chose Kansas based off my girl, but not out the actual thing, because, I fell back on the Baltimore Ravens one in Chicago. They don't understand the finish line, and this is the actual Super Bowl. Anyway, this is Mood Tricks, and this is why that Madden NFL playlist didn't go good.